You graduated top of your class. You have advanced degrees. You read 40 books a year. You can explain complex economic theories, and somehow your high school dropout neighbor who barely passed algebra just bought his third rental property while you're still trying to figure out how to max out your 401k. This isn't a fluke. This is a pattern, and it's playing out in millions of lives right now. The smartest people in the room are consistently being out-earned by people who barely understand what compound interest means. And before you think this is about luck or timing or privilege, let me show you something that's going to make you deeply uncomfortable. Intelligence is making you poor, not in spite of your smarts, but because of them. Your ability to analyze, to see complexity, to understand nuance, to predict problems. These are the exact traits that are keeping you broke while simpler minds are building wealth. Here's the first way intelligence destroys wealth: analysis paralysis. Smart people see all the variables, all the risks, all the ways something could go wrong. You want to start a business? Your brain immediately calculates market saturation, competitive advantages, regulatory hurdles, cash flow projections, tax implications. You spend 6 months researching, building spreadsheets, reading case studies, waiting for certainty. Meanwhile, someone with half your IQ just started selling pressure-washed driveways. They don't know about market analysis. They just knocked on doors until someone said yes. They don't understand customer acquisition costs. They just posted on Facebook. They're making $4,000 a month while you're still perfecting your business plan that you'll never execute. A 2019 study from the University of Pennsylvania tracked 2,400 individuals over 15 years. People with IQs above 130 were 40% less likely to start a business than people with IQs between 100 and 115. But here's the brutal part. When they did start businesses, the lower IQ group had higher success rates. Why? Because smart people optimize for perfection. Average people optimize for action. Intelligence creates a second trap: credential worship. Smart people believe in meritocracy because it worked for them in school. You got good grades, you got into good colleges, you got good jobs. The system rewarded your intelligence with credentials, so you keep collecting them. Another degree, another certification, another course. You have a master's degree that cost $80,000 and added $12,000 to your salary. The guy who skipped college and learned plumbing at 18 is now running a plumbing company doing $2 million in revenue. He has 0 credentials and 10 times your net worth because he understood something you didn't. Credentials signal value to employers, but they don't create value in markets. Markets don't care about your degrees. They care about solutions to problems. Here's the third wealth killer. Smart people overthink risk. You understand probability. You've read Taleb. You know about black swan events and tail risks. So when you see an investment opportunity, your brain immediately jumps to everything that could go wrong. What if the market crashes? What if interest rates rise? What if the property value drops? What if the business fails? Your pattern recognition, which serves you so well in academic settings, becomes a prison in financial decisions. You see every historical crash, every bubble, every disaster, and you freeze. Meanwhile, someone who doesn't know what a Shiller PE ratio is just bought a duplex because rent is high and mortgages are cheap. They don't know they should be scared, so they act. And action, even imperfect action, beats perfect inaction every single time. Let me tell you about 2 people I know. Michael has a PhD in economics from a top university. He can explain monetary policy, derivatives pricing, and game theory. He makes $160,000 as a consultant. He's been waiting for the right time to invest in real estate for 8 years. He's read 47 books on real estate investing. He has spreadsheets comparing cap rates across 12 different markets. He hasn't bought a single property. Then there's Danny. Danny barely graduated high school. He works in construction. At 22, his coworker told him, buy houses, rent them out. Danny didn't analyze. He bought a rundown house for $85,000 with an FHA loan, fixed it up himself, rented it out. Positive cash flow from day one. He repeated this 5 times. He's 31 now. He owns 7 properties. His net worth is $890,000. He couldn't explain what a cap rate is if you paid him. Michael understands real estate better than Danny ever will. Michael is broke. Danny is wealthy. Intelligence isn't the advantage you think it is. Here's why this happens at a neurological level. Smart people have more active default mode networks, the part of your brain that simulates scenarios. When you consider an investment, your brain runs hundreds of simulations simultaneously. Most of them are failure scenarios because your brain evolved to keep you alive, not make you rich. Risk aversion was great for not getting eaten by predators. It's terrible for building wealth. People with lower analytical intelligence don't run complex simulations. They see, this costs X, I can sell for Y. Y is bigger than X, I'll try it. Simple math, simple action, simple wealth building. The fourth trap is opportunity cost obsession. Smart people understand that choosing one path means not choosing another, so every decision becomes paralyzed by comparison. If I invest in this rental property, I can't invest in index funds. If I start this business, I can't focus on my career. If I buy this asset, I miss that opportunity. You're so aware of what you're giving up that you give up everything by choosing nothing. The person who doesn't think in opportunity costs just sees opportunities. They take the one in front of them. They build wealth with the options they chose instead of staying poor contemplating the options they didn't. Here's the career trap smart people fall into. They optimize for impressive over profitable. You choose jobs that sound good at dinner parties: management consultant, data scientist, policy analyst. These are intellectually satisfying roles that make your parents proud. They're also capped in earning potential unless you're top 1% of top 1%. Meanwhile, less intelligent people gravitate toward boring, unsexy businesses that solve simple problems. Waste management, HVAC repair, parking lot maintenance. These businesses aren't impressive. They're also printing money because smart people are too proud to do them. There's a reason why so many billionaires dropped out of college or barely finished, not because education is bad, but because their lack of overeducation allowed them to see simple truths. Zuckerberg didn't need a computer science PhD to know people like connecting online. Jobs didn't need an MBA to know people want products that work beautifully. Plenty of PhDs in those fields understood the technology better. They were too smart to ship an imperfect product. Let me give you the mathematical reality. If you have an IQ of 140 and you spend 5 years analyzing before you act, you've lost 5 years of compound returns. If someone with an IQ of 100 acts immediately with an imperfect plan, they've had 5 years of learning, iterating, and compounding. Even if your eventual execution is 20% better than theirs, you'll never catch up to their 5-year head start. This is why you see immigrant entrepreneurs who barely speak English out-earning native-born professionals with advanced degrees. They're not smarter, they're simpler. They see, people need food, I'll open restaurant. People need rides, I'll drive taxi. People need repairs, I'll learn trade. No analysis paralysis, no credential worship, just action and iteration. The education system did something terrible to smart people. It taught you that there's always a right answer if you study hard enough. That preparation prevents failure. That intelligence wins. So you approach wealth like a test you can study for. You read books, attend seminars, build knowledge, and you wait to feel ready. But wealth isn't a test. It's a game where the winners are the ones who play before they feel ready, where execution beats expertise, where simple beats smart. Here's what you need to understand. Your intelligence is an asset, but only when combined with action. Without action, it's just expensive entertainment. All those books you've read, podcasts you've listened to, courses you've taken, they're worthless unless you do something with them. And doing something doesn't mean more research. It means taking imperfect action in the real world where money is actually made. The people getting rich aren't the ones who know the most. They're the ones who do the most with what they know. They're not smarter than you. They're just less paralyzed by their own intelligence. So here's what smart people need to do to stop being broke. First, set a decision deadline. Stop researching and start executing. Give yourself 1 week to make a decision, not 1 year. Your 80% solution implemented today beats your 100% solution implemented never. Second, embrace stupidity. Do something that feels too simple to work. Something that makes you feel like you're playing small. Buy the duplex. Start the boring business. Take the unsexy opportunity. The things that feel beneath your intelligence are often the exact things that build wealth. Third, measure action, not knowledge. Stop tracking how many books you've read and start tracking how many offers you've made, how many properties you've viewed, how many businesses you've started. Knowledge without execution is trivia. Fourth, find a mentor who's less educated but wealthier than you. This will hurt your ego. Do it anyway. Learn how someone with fewer advantages built more wealth. I guarantee they'll say the same thing. I just started and figured it out as I went. Fifth, Accept that you will fail. Your intelligence wants to prevent failure through preparation, but failure is the admission price for success. The people who've built wealth have failed more times than you've tried. They're not smarter, they just have more at-bats. The most expensive lie smart people believe is that intelligence equals wealth. It doesn't. Action equals wealth. Speed equals wealth. Simplicity equals wealth. Intelligence can amplify these things, but without them, it's just expensive overthinking. Your high school dropout neighbor isn't lucky. They're not privileged. They're not even that savvy. They just understood something your intelligence prevented you from seeing. Wealth rewards simple action over complex planning. It rewards speed over perfection. It rewards execution over education. You can stay smart and broke, using your intelligence to explain why everyone else's success was luck. Or you can become smart and rich by using that intelligence to act before you feel ready, to choose simple over complex, to value wealth over credentials. The choice is yours, but understand this. Every day you spend preparing is a day someone less intelligent is building the wealth you think you deserve. Not because they're better than you, but because they're doing what you're thinking about. Stop being the smartest broke person in the room. Start being the richest person who acted before they felt ready. Your intelligence is a gift, but only if you use it to execute, not to eternally prepare. If this made you uncomfortable, good. Discomfort means you're seeing a truth you've been avoiding. Subscribe if you want more brutal honesty about why conventional wisdom keeps you poor. Comment below. What have you been overanalyzing instead of executing? Let's fix that. Thanks for watching. Now go do something simple.